I'm sure if you go into the net, you can see grade 7 male pattern baldness. You look at the space from which the hair has been lost and look at the number of follicles that is remaining. There is no comparison. So obviously, if you remove all of those follicles, then that area will become completely bald. So obviously, you can't remove all of them and plant it in front and get that same thickness in that surface area in the front. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jayanti Ravindran. So today I'll be talking about male pattern baldness, why someone develops male pattern baldness, what are the treatment options available, who will benefit from what treatment options. Male pattern baldness is a genetic condition. It's not a disease. It doesn't mean that somebody has baldness, they have some medical problem. So basically, they are genetically programmed to lose the temporary hair in the scalp. Now, the extent to which they can lose is also pre-programmed. It can follow a familial pattern or it may not follow, and they can be the first generation developing a male pattern. So basically, why this happens is because of sensitivity of what we call dihydrotestosterone. Short form, we call it DHT. So DHT is one of the byproducts of testosterone. Testosterone is a male hormone predominantly secreted by the testes. So the DHT binds to its receptors in the temporary follicles in the temporary zone, and this binding will cause miniaturization, which means shrinkage of the hair follicles, and there'll be degeneration of the stem cells in the perifollicular area, and finally the new hair shafts are not formed. So then you end up with baldness. And the sensitivity of this DHT to these receptors are pre-programmed, and it is genetic. Naturally, the general question all of them ask me is, when their parent, father has got baldness or started having baldness at the age of 45 or 50, why am I getting it at the age of 20? Now our lifestyles have changed. Normally, if the hair has to complete its anagen phase, it does so in over a period of 2 to 6 years. So let's say we have a very healthy lifestyle, diet, exercise, we are not excessively stressed, no other medical problems. Maybe the male pattern would have started at the age of 45 or 50. But because of change in lifestyle, the anagen hair time to time does not complete the full anagen cycle. Within 1 year, 2 years, they go into the telogen phase, and then they come back to the anagen phase over a period of time, and sometimes they won't come back, and because there is not right stimulus for them to come back to the growth phase. So also genetically, the number of times that this cycle goes on is also predetermined, and so if they complete that number of cycles, once again they stop growing. So that is why somebody starts getting it very early in their life. Now, as someone starts seeing signs of recession of the hairline or a male pattern, first thing they need to do, so as I told you, very early in life, you have to start following a good lifestyle. So if you follow a good lifestyle, you can definitely postpone this male pattern until the age of 45 or 50. But if, let's say whatever happened and you've started shedding hair and you see the hairline going back, then you consult a trichologist or a physician specializing in this hair related issues. And then first, once the confirmation of clinical examination, sometimes we do test for DHTs, because sometimes very young people, they have very high DHT to the range of 2000 and all, and we see diffuse thinning. So definitely it's good to see someone specializing in hair related issues and get the diagnosis confirmed. And if it is confirmed to be male pattern hair loss, it's better that you start taking treatment early. So the first part of the treatment will be to keep your hair in the anagen phase. So supplements, lifestyle modification to keep them in the full 6 years of anagen phase. So that will be the first step of the treatment. Because very young people, young clients, we don't want to start them unless it's aggressive on hormone blocking medications. But if they are progressing very fast, then obviously you need medicines which are FDA approved to block the effect of this DHT on the receptors. Unless you block, the process is going to continue. So we have not found out any other medication. PRP in some research papers have shown to have some effect causing this blockage. But none of these are permanent. As long as you do either PRP or you take this medicine, you can block this effect. And once you block, that blockage effect can last for some more time. So time to time, you definitely have to block this effect while you're trying to change the lifestyle so that you can postpone the male pattern hair loss which has started. Now, if you end up later stage and you've already lost half of your hair, then I can tell you, based on the research that's available, that taking some medicine or trying to do multiple sessions of PRP will not regrow all that hair that you have lost and maintain it permanently in the scalp. You might see some temporary regrowth, but once you stop, once again they will miniaturize. So for someone who has an established male pattern baldness, the best treatment option would be to consider hair transplant. Why? In hair transplant, we are trying to redistribute the hair follicles from the permanent zone. This means that the hair follicles in that zone are not subjected to this DHT-induced miniaturization. So then we take those hair follicles and we transplant them in areas where you have lost. Now, what you must understand is, if you see, I'm sure if you go into the net, you can see grade 7 male pattern baldness. You look at the space from which the hair has been lost and look at the number of follicles that is remaining. There is no comparison. So obviously, if you remove all of those follicles, then that area will become completely bald. So obviously, you can't remove all of them and plant it in front and get that same thickness in that surface area in the front. So obviously, we are only taking about 50% from the permanent zone and distributing in such a way that overlap of the grown lengthy hair shaft actually gives you this coverage. So you have to understand this basic concept that, it's not replacing the exact number of follicles that you've lost. We are trying to follow a technique by which, since hair is not a point and it's a length, it can cover a large area. And that's how we give the effect of you having, not an exposed scalp and bald area, but it's a covered scalp. So this is about hair transplant. And I can tell you that hair transplant is a surgical procedure. So it should be done in a hospital setup. And now with all this COVID, obviously this is a purely aesthetic procedure, so you need to be even more careful, not being done in small rooms and following strict sterilization protocols, because it's very important. So the procedure is usually it's a long procedure. It takes about 4 to 5 hours minimum. So then you have to understand that it's the maintaining sterility in the clinic, hospital where this is performed, and all the stuff is utmost priority. But I can tell you that hair transplant is a very safe procedure. When done with all surgical protocols, because worldwide, if you say, very rare complications have been reported if surgical protocols are best followed strictly. At the most, you might have some swelling in the periorbital region. So the procedure is about, as I told you, anywhere between 4 to 8 hours procedure. One day a little discomfort, next 2 days we usually give a wash of the scalp, and you can get back to work in about third day, wearing, if you're uncomfortable exposing the scalp, you can wear a hat. So this is all about male pattern baldness. So to just summarize, male pattern baldness is a genetic condition, it's not a disease. So please don't get worried if you have male pattern thinking that you have some medical problem. No, you don't have a medical problem. Second, if you have a good lifestyle and good healthy diet, exercise, good habits, you can definitely postpone, even if your father had male pattern, you can postpone to the age like 35, 40, even much later. But if it starts, you start seeing recession, start treatment early, take supplements initially, do not go in for hair transplant at a very young age. Don't start, that I get clients to my clinic at 20 years, 22 years, just being very adamant they want the hairline to be lowered or, covered and things like that. When the male pattern is a progressive disease, if you start very early and try to lower, when you get to grade 5, you might not have enough donor for the remaining area. Please keep this in mind. Thank you.